Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Asha here. I'm here with another video for you guys, and today I'm going to tell you guys my Rook piercing experience and what went down. I'm going to show you guys some pictures. Just a little disclaimer, if you guys don't like blood, don't watch this video, and if you feel weird about like pain and blood and stuff like that, don't watch this video because there was a lot of blood. So let me tell you guys what happened. Actually first let me get receipts. I need some evidence that I need to show you guys because it was actually disastrous and I need to know like the dates. Okay, so on the 31st of October 2017, me and Dag and Sundus decided we were gonna go get piercings because that's what we do. One day we just wake up and we're just like, yeah, today's the day. So it was one of those days where we all just decided, yeah, today we're just gonna go get piercings. So we went to my man Paul and we were like, okay, cool, it's time for us to get piercings. And I've had quite a few piercings and I have a really high pain tolerance in terms of piercings, so I wasn't too scared. I decided that I was going to get my Rook done. I'm going to insert a picture if you guys don't know what a Rook is, like on my hair. And I'm going to insert a picture of my Rook when I got mine done as well. So anyway, we go to Paul and we're like, come on, okay, it's time for the piercing. So Dara goes first. She got her piercing, she got a forward helix, and watching her honestly made me feel like shit. I was so scared because we always get piercings, so I know that me and Dara have like a really high pain tolerance. Like watching Dara and she's literally like crying in pain and I'm like, I'm not sure I want to do this anymore. So I was supposed to get the forward helix as well, but watching her I was just like, honestly I don't think I can do this. So then I think I went next. I'm not sure if I went next or if Sundus, no, it was Sundus first and I went last. So then Sundus decided she wanted to get her Rook done. So she got her Rook and then it was my turn. Sundus also almost passed out, like, but I was just like, it's probably not that deep because Sundus doesn't really get piercings. She was getting her forward helix and Sundus almost passed out when she was getting her Rook. Because of the experience that I've had with both of them, I was just like, do you know what? I can't do the forward helix, let me just get a Rook. So then, it's my turn now. Paul pulled out the bar, and I have a really weird thing where I don't like my bars being too long. So he pulled out a really long bar, and I know that you're supposed to have a bar a little bit longer than, like a little bit bigger because of swelling. You need the piercing to be able to accommodate to the swelling. So I know that very well, but I thought, no, actually, fuck it, I'm gonna be a rebel. And I'm gonna get a small, cute one that fits perfectly. For some reason, I literally can't find anything. Let me call Dab and see if she's got anything. Because yo guys, I literally can't find anything. Oh, wow, I'm still recording and I completely went off on another tangent. Anyway, let's get back into the story, basically. So then, fast forward a few weeks after the piercing. So I know that the piercing, the jewellery that I just got in is too small, which there's a possibility that the ball might go inside my ear. So I know that the piercing, I know that you usually, okay, let me try that again. So I know that you're supposed to get a piercing a little bit bigger because it's not, does that, I don't know, the jewellery size bigger. I've been trying this for so long, fuck it, I don't care. Basically, the jewellery has to be bigger than normal so that you can, basically. So then my ear, it just kept, I could feel it kept swelling and then it would go down and then a few days later it would swell again and then it would come down and then it was just the whole, I think I've had the piercing for 3-4 weeks and I think the whole 4 weeks I was in pain constantly, like on and off. So then I got to a point where I was just like, I don't think I can do this anymore. So one night I was looking at my ear and I noticed that the ball on the bottom bit was slightly going inside my ear. So I decided I was going to put my ear in some salt water, clean it and just push it down a little bit so that the ball comes out. That night I went to sleep, I woke up that morning, the ball was literally inside my ear and my ear was just covered in blood. So I decided that day I was going to go to the hospital, which by the way is in my local area, is by far the worst hospital in West London. Like, everybody knows that. We just all know that the hospital that is closest to my house is just shit, basically. The A&E services there is terrible, and this story will just confirm everything, basically. I called their consultants and I was like, guys, you actually have to come with me to the hospital. Like, I'm in pain and this piercing just needs to come out of my ear. And I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday, and that's why I couldn't go to... Hi, Doctor! Anyway, back to the story. I don't even remember where I was. So we go to the Ealing hospital. Their consultants are telling me, listen, like, bearing in mind we've been waiting for like 2 hours now, and I'm in excruciating pain. Like, I'm asking the doctors for painkillers and they're just like, I'm busy. Oh my god, I forgot, I had a so much happened that day. Anyway, so then we go inside to see the doctor and he's like, listen, you have to go see an ENT doctor for them to take it out, because they said they didn't have any numbing, like anything to numb my ear with, and the most that they could do for me is give me some painkillers and then literally just rip it out. So then he said he was going to refer me to another hospital, and I was like, yes, please do that, refer me, because I'm in too much pain as it is. Like, if you try rip it out right now, it's not gonna work. Then the doctor was like, okay, cool, wait outside, I'm gonna call you in like 15 minutes. So then we're waiting for another hour. He calls us back in and he's like, I'm so sorry, I called the other hospital and they said they wouldn't be able to take it out within the next 5 days. So he told me to go wait outside and that he was gonna call me back in to give me some painkillers and some antibiotics just in case the ear was infected. So we're waiting outside. At this point I'm deeping the fact that I have to keep this piercing in my ear for another 5 days, and I was just like, I can't do it. And my friends were sitting next to me. At this point they're just like, listen Asha, just firm it, go, just try it, it can't be that bad, like you just need to get it out of your ears. So I was like, you know what, I'm a big man, I got this, let me go and try. So then I called the doctor and I said, listen, can you just try to take it out of my ear, because I'm in excruciating pain and this needs to come out. So he was like, absolutely fine, not a problem. So we're sitting in the little ward now. So he unscrewed the ball. At this point I'm crying because with every touch I can feel it moving inside my ear and it's raw and it's just painful, basically. So he managed to take the ball off. At this point I'm just like, okay, stop, I need a breather, like chill. So we're sitting there for 2 minutes and my friend's just like, now he just needs to push it down, and because he's got the top wall off, so all he has to do is push the ball down and re-pierce it through the bottom, if that makes sense, because it's stuck in the middle but it's closer to the bottom because it's the bottom wall that's just sort of got stuck up my ear. So all he has to do is push it down. So I'm just like, okay, cool. So we just kept telling this doctor, okay, now, because for some reason there was like some sort of communication error. I could tell that he couldn't understand me because not everybody understands piercing, which is fair enough. And he was getting aggravated because I kept telling him, like, you need to just push it because I'm in pain and I really wanted this piercing out of my ear, and it was annoying me that this man couldn't understand me for some reason. Eventually we came to a mutual understanding that he was going to push it down. So then I'm sitting there getting ready for the pain, because obviously this man's about to push the piercing back through my ear and re-pierce it. And all of a sudden I just feel immense pain as this guy pulls the piercing up my ear, so it just goes further up in my ear, and as he's pulling I jump away because I'm like, you're doing this wrong, and he's holding onto my ear as I jump, and the piercing got stuck further up my ear, basically. At this point all I remember is screaming. At this point my ear is literally bleeding, it's just dripping blood and there was just blood everywhere. I just remember being in so much pain, crying, and this doctor then tells me go wait outside while my ear is literally dripping blood and I'm crying. I'm in so much pain, no painkillers, nothing. He's like, okay, go wait outside. So I'm waiting outside for another hour crying, and he's like, I don't know what he's doing at this point, but I'm just crying. So then my sundus went up to the nurse and she was like, excuse me, my friend's in pain over there, can you give her some sort of pain medicine or painkillers or something? And this nurse she was on her computer, she was just typing, and she was literally ignoring Sundus. So Cinder's was like, excuse me, like my friend's in pain and you guys haven't done anything this week. Come in, we've been waiting 4 hours. This doctor fucked her ear up even more. And now you guys are refusing to give her painkillers, like what's going on? So then nurse then randomly starts shouting, she's like, as you can see, I'm doing something, you don't have any patience, you're disrespectful, blah blah blah. And so she's like so shocked at this point because we've just had such a long day, and at this point like we're all just tired because we've been waiting in a waiting room for 4 hours, and it's just not fun. The lady was like, give me 10 minutes, like whatever. So Sundus then comes back. The lady, bearing in mind, it's like literally during the whole day I was just crying and I was getting a really bad headache. My ear is still bleeding. I'm waiting in the waiting room for another 15 minutes after the nurse said, wait 5 minutes for the painkillers. So then the nurse calls out my name and she's like, Asha, come to the reception. I'm just like, bearing in mind my ear's bleeding, I have a headache, I can barely walk, I've been crying, like I'm in pain, so I'm just like... So I drag myself up to the reception and she's like, hands me 2 paracetamols, like, really? Across me, and she's watched me cry for about 40 minutes, like, and all you're giving me is paracetamol. Are you being serious? So anyway, I just took the paracetamol. At this point I'm like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving. No way am I, no, basically, just no. So we leave the hospital and I'm crying, and at this point we start walking back to my house. But he is still bleeding, and at this point I feel like I'm about to pass out. So we're walking through some meadow to get to my house. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna pass out. So I sat down and I'm just like, okay, bleeding for about 3-4 hours now. So my friends and I were just like, okay, now it's time for me to just call an ambulance because this is not okay. Like, I'm in immense pain. I need to be helped. Like, I'm just an innocent girl. I just don't want this piercing in my ear anymore. So anyway, we call the ambulance and they're like, okay, we're gonna be with you in 10 minutes. So we're like, okay, perfect. Waiting 10 minutes, no ambulance. So then we wait another 10 minutes and still no ambulance. And then Cinder's decides to call back the ambulance. And they were like, sorry, we can't come to you because it's not an emergency case. And I'm like, so you had me waiting here for 25 minutes for you to fucking tell me this is not an emergency case. At this point I was just like, I don't give a shit, I'm just gonna go home. Like, I just want to sleep because I'm in so much pain. My ear is still bleeding. I'm still crying. I've been crying since 10 o'clock in the morning. So I get home and then all of a sudden I just got this really, really immense headache. So I was just like, big problem. This thing really needs to just get out of my ear. My mum's not home, my dad's also not at home, so I'm just like, shit. Like, this is really shit. Eventually, I called a friend of mine. I was just like, listen, I'm in so much pain and I need to go to a hospital. Like, you need to come with me. It wasn't even a, please can you come with me? I'm just like, you just need to take me. Like, let's go. So my friend got in the Uber, came, went to the hospital, and my ear is still, the bleeding has slowed down now. It hasn't been bleeding that much, but it's still bleeding. I told the people at the reception what happened and they were like, you just need to file a complaint. Like, that was ridiculous. First and foremost, they shouldn't have they shouldn't have tried to take out the piercing without numbing you or giving you some painkillers or putting you to sleep. They then processed me. He asked me for a referral form that the doctor said he would give me, but because I got so angry and because I literally just could not wait anymore, I just left the referral form, which meant that I had to wait the full, again, I think it was 3 hours I had to wait this time to be seen by the nurse. And then the nurse. At this point, I'm really tired because it's just been like a really long day. So I'm just like, this thing needs to just come out of my ear. So I get into the nurse's room and I just burst into tears, and it wasn't even pain tears because by this point, like, the pain was sort of not that much. I had the headache and stuff, but I was just exhausted, like, and I was just so fed up of everything that happened that day. So I just burst out crying and I'm just like, please can you help me? So please can you help me? You just need to get it out, man. So she was like, I'm gonna see what I can do. Can you just wait outside for another 10 minutes? I'm gonna go talk to the ENT nurses and find out if they can do it for you today. And she was like, I'm not promising you that they can do it. I don't want you to get your hopes up because I can tell you've had a really long and shitty day, and I don't want to make you believe that they will be able to take it out. And I was like, absolutely fine, but either way, this thing needs to leave my ear. Like, I'm actually not leaving this hospital with this thing in my ear. So she was like, okay, cool, just wait outside for another 5 minutes. I'm gonna go speak to the ENT nurses. So she went upstairs, come back another 20 minutes, and she was like, I'm so sorry. And at this point, she didn't even have to continue, I just burst out crying. Once again, I don't think I can take it out because there's been too much trauma on the ear and it's just gonna be too painful. And I was like, listen, absolutely fine, just take it out. So then she gave me some gas and I started with the gas. 5 minutes into the gas, I just remember blacking out, and the nurse was just like trying to wake me. Then they woke me. I'm still taking the gas, and this lady then was like, she was putting it down, so I could feel her putting all her pressure on me as she's trying to push it back through. Bearing in mind now it's halfway up my ear, like, because of the doctor that pulled it up, this piercing is halfway up my ear. So she has to then push it back down where it's crying. She's just like, listen, it's gonna be painful, just keep sucking the gas. So I was sucking the gas like my life depended on it while I was crying, while I was blacking out. I think I blacked out like 4 times that time. But eventually it came out, and I just remember the nurse being like, do you wanna keep it? And I was like, get that shit out of my face, man. So then my ear for the next 2 weeks was swollen, but alhamdulillah, it finally came out of my ear. That meant there was no pain. So now my ear just looks like this. It's just got like a little bit of scarring, but nothing really, alhamdulillah. So yes, guys, I really hope you liked this story time. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you.